Here's more wrestling news for December 3rd, 2022, and we're starting off with The Rock, and for years, a WrestleMania match with Roman Reigns has been rumored, a match both men have teased over the years. It's hardly a secret that WWE would kill to get the Great One back for one match, and his return may indeed be happening in a matter of weeks. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it's reported that one idea being thrown around backstage is for Rock to be a surprise entrant in the Men's Royal Rumble match, and that he'd likely be the number 30 participant. Having him enter last would decrease the chance of Rock getting injured, a big concern for the Hollywood A-lister, and it's reported that he not only could enter the match, but he'll be winning it. This would guarantee the long-awaited WrestleMania match with Reigns, who is expected to hold the titles well into early April. Addressing the highly anticipated singles match, Meltzer writes that if WWE goes ahead with this plan, it'd likely be The Rock's final match, as he's spoken about wanting to end his career facing Reigns in Los Angeles. Ultimately, the decision will be The Rock's to make, but he'll have to hurry, as the plans for WrestleMania's main event will need to be locked down by mid-January. It's also noted that even if The Rock can't make the Rumble, but can make WrestleMania, WWE would come up with some reason for the Reigns match to happen, possibly by having the Rumble winner use their title opportunity at Elimination Chamber instead. Rock vs. Reigns is the biggest match WWE will have seen in years, but do you think the Brahma Bull should win the Men's Rumble, or should someone else get the honor? Let us know in the comments. Over to AEW as CM Punk continues to be suspended from the company for his actions at All Out, and there's been many questions about his status. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reports that contrary to what some believe, Punk is still under contract with AEW, and he is still getting paid by Tony Khan. CM Punk may still be an AEW wrestler, but he's not planning on being one for much longer, as sources close to him told The Observer that he's ready and willing to move on to his next project. As Punk has had success in both acting and writing comics for Marvel, and it's not like he even needs the money either. Punk's next project may indeed be WWE, as Triple H is reportedly down to discussing a return, though some backstage have said they absolutely do not want Punk back in the company. Ultimately, Punk's next move can only happen when he has been released by AEW, something that promotion is in no hurry to do, but the problematic former world champion is ready to move on. With the bad blood between WWE and Punk, there's still a slim chance he'll return, but one name who is expected back is William Regal. On this week's Dynamite, Regal was written off TV with an attack by MJF, and it's been reported that the British star is expected to leave. Regal has previously stated that he signed a 3-year deal with AEW when he joined, meaning his contract should expire in April 2025, but he's now set to leave far sooner. According to multiple sources in WWE who spoke to The Observer, Regal has a clause in his contract that is allowing him to leave AEW prematurely without the risk of penalty. It's unclear what exactly Regal did to earn such a clause, but The Observer did suggest that the sheer respect that Tony Khan has for the British legend may have something to do with it. Regal has spent almost his entire run with AEW as part of the Blackpool Combat Club before he turned heel at Full Gear, and with the BCC seemingly finished, as is his alliance with MJF, don't expect the gentleman villain to be all elite anymore. It was reported earlier this week that many in AEW believe Regal's appearance on Dynamite was his last, and it's not just the wrestlers in the company who feel this way. During Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez explained how many in WWE suspect Regal will be back soon, and it all boils down to one man, Triple H. The belief among people within WWE is that when he signed with AEW, he eventually had an agreement where if Triple H returns to power, he can go back to WWE. And Triple H is now back in power. The belief within WWE is that is what's going on. This theory makes a lot of sense, as it was only when Triple H lost control of NXT that Regal was released, and the two are extremely close both in wrestling and in real life. Together, Triple H and Regal did big things for NXT, helping the Gold brand reach its peak of popularity, and now it looks like the pair will do the same, this time on the main roster. Regal's departure has come as a shock to fans, given that he's been prominently featured on AEW TV for some time now. Given that Regal only turned heel on the Blackpool Combat Club a few weeks back, Fans thought this would be the start of a new era of Regal and AEW, and it's not just the fans who have been blindsided. In The Observer, Meltzer expressed his own criticism for Tony Khan booking Regal so prominently, knowing that he wouldn't be around for a proper payoff, and added that a lot of talent have also questioned Khan's booking, since it's been known backstage that Regal was leaving. No booker is perfect, despite Khan's history boasting about being the Wrestling Observer newsletter's Booker of the Year award winner, and while it's one thing to leave the fans annoyed and confused, Khan's choices are getting the same reaction from those who work for him. Regal is set to leave AEW soon, but one name who may be showing up more is Kota Ibushi. In May, Ibushi fired off some fiery tweets about New Japan, who he felt were trying to rush him into an in-ring return after a shoulder injury, with Brian Alvarez saying that he had burned bridges. In this week's Observer, it was confirmed that Ibushi's New Japan contract will expire at the end of next month, and there's a huge chance he'll join AEW. Fans may remember that Ibushi and Kenny Omega have teamed in the past as the Golden Lovers, and it's looking likely that this tag team will ride again. It was back in 2019 that Ibushi signed what was called a lifetime contract with New Japan, and had wanted to be with the company until his dying days, but tensions backstage have changed those plans, which could be very good for AEW. Next January, Shinsuke Nakamura will face the Great Muta for Pro Wrestling Noah in a rare example of WWE allowing one of their talents to compete elsewhere. Many have said that this would have never happened under WWE's old regime, and one person wanting more of this is Kevin Owens. Speaking on After the Bell, Owens was asked whether he'd like to see more crossover and whether he'd be willing to take his talents as a WWE superstar to another show. "Yeah, for sure, I'd like to have matches on the indies. I'm very deeply rooted in the independent scene, that's where I came up. I always thought, hey man, it'd be really cool if I get to do that one day. Now it feels like more of a possibility than ever." Vince McMahon's WWE infamously did not play well with others, but there's a new regime in charge, and which non-WWE wrestlers do you want to see lock horns with the prize fighter? And we're ending today with CM Punk, who may indeed be done with AEW very soon, but he will have one last appearance for the company before he rides off into the sunset. AEW fans and gamers alike are anticipating the release of AEW Fight Forever, the first console video game for the company, and as first reported by Sportskeeda, Punk will be part of the game. In the most recent trailer for the game, new cover art was featured, which notably did not feature Punk, leading to the belief that he had been removed. That isn't the case, and while Punk isn't expected to ever compete in a real AEW ring ever again, the former world champion will be running the ropes in AEW Fight Forever. That's it, guys. That's your wrestling news for today. Make sure to check out our channel for amazing wrestling content. Also, subscribe to our channel for daily wrestling news.